Now, cinematographers are basically camera operators, and they use their cameras in a variety of different ways. They mount them on tracks and trolleys or jimmy jibs or cranes or hold them by hand, and off late they have something called a Steadicam. Now, a Steadicam is basically a regular camera which is harnessed onto the body of the camera operator such that you get eye-level shots. Now, this is basically done so that the entire scene looks extremely realistic. Sounds complicated, doesn't it? But the fact is that it is an extremely difficult task, and if you really want to know what I'm talking about, then you must go and watch RGV films, because he uses a lot of Steadicam shots. As far as the nuances of Steadicam operation are concerned, well, coming up next is Deep Pal, the person who literally introduced the entire concept in this country.
Steadicam operators are specialists within the camera department. They may be hired on a daily basis to perform specific shots within a scene, or employed as camera operators who specialize in Steadicam. Today we will meet Deep Pal, one of the senior-most specialists who introduced Steadicam in India, and know more about the career aspects in this field.
I was working with the BBC in London, and when I came back in 1987, I was offered a job by Mr. Ramesh Prasad in Madras. He had a Steadicam, which there was no operator. Now, two people from India at that stage trained for the Steadicam, me and another cameraman called Rajiv Menon. We, in fact, trained with the same people in the United States. Rajiv never took it up seriously because he wanted to become a DOP. He did very little work. I took it up seriously. And in 1988, I started serious Steadicam operation. And my first film was Ram Gopal Verma's Shiva, which was the Telugu version, and then he made the Hindi version. So Steadicam started from there. And at that stage, I was the only Steadicam operator in the whole of India till 1991. And suddenly India woke up to the fact that something called a Steadicam was available. So at that stage, I used to be working almost every single day, shooting in Bombay, shooting in Madras, in Bangalore, all over the place. This contraption is the basic Steadicam, the mount for the Steadicam. The camera is mounted up here. This is the battery, and this is the monitor. Because when the camera is mounted on a Steadicam, I don't have the eyepiece to look through. The picture comes on the monitor, and I operate it looking at the monitor. This is the harness on which the arm is fitted. Now you can see the springs here. This is a series of 6 springs in this arm, which are very precise springs. They are exactly the same, all 6, and this is me. So this is the basic Steadicam, which is still in operation. Then there are remote focus motors, because how do you shift focus on a Steadicam? You can't use your hand because the Steadicam will shake, and it is balanced absolutely at 0. So any kind of cable, any kind of hand going in, the Steadicam will rock, which really ruins the shot.
The invention of Steadicam was revolutionary in terms of filmmaking. It allows camera operators to follow or create movement wherever it is happening.
Initially, it was mainly used for chases and action scenes because the director was not thinking Steadicam because it was a new contraption. Today, there's a lot of refinement in the operation of Steadicam. It is used in scenes, in songs, on television mainly. I mean, I've done a lot of game shows. We have shot songs in one shot, a 3.5-minute song in one shot, which is wonderful. And we have some very clever directors who are so good at composing Steadicam shots. It's a great experience. The minute you enjoy what you do good work. It is not a drudgery. It is not that you're compelled to do it. So I tell everybody that the day you stop enjoying what you're doing, stop doing it, because then it tells on your job. It shows in your work. Learn things properly. On a Steadicam, you can't afford to make a mistake. A shot that is taken today, by the time the rushes come, that set is gone. The producer cannot reshoot it. So please before you become a good Steadicam operator, be sure that you know what you're doing. And it's not difficult, let me tell you.
As the Steadicam has become somewhat of a staple in many films and television productions, the need for qualified operators has increased dramatically over the past decade and should continue to increase into the foreseeable future.
It is a wonderful career option because financially it is fantastic. You almost get paid as much as the DOP if you're a good Steadicam operator. And there is so much work. India is one country where we make over 1,000 feature films a year. And there's probably a handful of good Steadicam operators in the country. So you can imagine how much work.
When I started my career, I was a photographer. So when I was doing one film in Ooty, the film name is Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. I saw one Steadicam operator there. He was doing a few sequences. So since that time, I started feeling about Steadicam, thinking about Steadicam. Okay, should I go for this job? So when I asked few people how I can start, they said, no, this is quite different kind of job, this is top job, why you are going for this, you should go for cinematography and or other things. But when I saw the operator is moving around and is wearing a lot of weight and doing some good work, people are clapping for him, and since that time I started, no, this is quite exciting, I should try for it.
Now remember that if you are really interested in Steadicam operation, then you must have a strong back. I'm going to take a small little break right now, and after that I'm going to talk to you more about Steadicam operation, so keep watching Yuva Bharat.